Okay, in this short webinar, we're going to discuss or view the Nexpart B2C OE update for 2014. So the big news is that we are moving from taxonomic search to faceted search. Taxonomic search is when you do a search that requires a certain number of lookups in a specific order. For example, year, make, model, engine, main category, subcategory, and then see a search result. That's how the aftermarket search works, and that's referred to as a taxonomic-based search. And that's a very B2B friendly search, not really a business to consumer friendly search. So faceted search, which was introduced by Amazon and eBay probably 5 or 6 years ago already, works where you could simply put in a single facet of your search and then see all of the results. So for example, you could go to eBay Motors and you could say, you could just choose BMW and it would show you all the BMW vehicles, all the BMW parts, and then on the left column you would see additional facets. Maybe a facet would be the price, it could be whether or not the part is available for same-day shipping, or maybe you could do a search, let's say by year, make, and model with a keyword search. The bottom line is we've moved from taxonomic search to faceted search, and not only that, but we've also redesigned the whole user interface. All right, so let's look at the key changes and what the benefits are. So first, as you can see, we've got a totally redesigned user interface, and we're going to look at that in a few minutes. Now, the user interface is what's referred to as a responsive design. And a responsive design means when you change the screen size, the screen will dynamically size. So this was done so that sellers do not have to have a mobile, an app, okay? So basically, the same website will look good on a mobile phone or on a tablet or on a full-size monitor like I'm using. Now, I will say it's not perfect yet for phones, but it's looking 1,000 times better than the old stuff. Okay, the other thing is all OE customers can have the new faceted OE catalog that I'm going to show you. So clients that have the old version could upgrade to it. It will require design changes, and for that they will need to be charged. But any, whether it's Nexpart Basic or Nexpart B2C Pro, they'll both be able to have, or both packages will be able to have the faceted catalog. Now the faceted catalog is about 99% ready, and by the time the NADA shows, which is at the end of January, we'll be ready with it 100%. And that's the end of January 2014, of course. Okay, now the new UI currently has only a single design template. Now the reason we did that was we wanted to make this extremely simple. The entire design template is a simple header and a simple footer, and all you can do is change the theme and add a logo. It's very, very simple. It's going to make for getting customers set up quickly. Pretty much, well, they're going to get set up quickly. Okay, now this is a big one. SEO friendly URLs. I don't know if you can see on the screen here, but basically, let me see if I can highlight it. No, I guess I can't. One of the most important things for search engine optimization is a search engine friendly URL, and a search engine friendly URL is one that you can actually read. So what you can see here is it says site.com/catalog4, that happens to be the OE catalog, /vehicle, which is the type of search, and then here's Ford 2005 Explorer cooling system, and then cooling fan. Now those are all words that Google can index and will index. If you were to look at the URLs of the current OE catalog, they're about 3 feet long. They've got all sorts of funny characters in there, and Google does not index them well. So this was a really, really important feature, and of course we've got it now. Another really cool one is keyword search. A single keyword search box can find part numbers, VINs, vehicle and part type phrases such as year, make, model, part type. That's a feature that Nexpart B2B and Nexpart B2C have never had, and now it has it. So it's a really cool feature. The other thing is, once you do a search by your make and model, we'll actually show you a picture of your car. We have a vehicle database with about 20,000 vehicle images. We've licensed that on behalf of our clients. There's no extra charges for that. Now this is a major, major change. You can see here it says Nexpart B2C Basic. For pricing, it only supports marking up list plus or minus. So let me explain. For the last 7 or 8 years, all of the B2C sites that we've sold have pretty much been integrated or connected sites, meaning price and availability was coming either from the seller's Nexpart site, or it was coming from the seller's supplier's Nexpart site, which meant that you got price and availability all in real time. Well, we thought this was a great thing, but as you know, sometimes it's slow and sometimes it's really slow depending on the seller's connection. So the faceted UI does not have a connection. Now, for some of you might be shaking your head saying, oh, that's going to be a problem. It's really not a problem, simply because in the OE space, the competitors that we deal with have all been using the same list price, which comes from Motor. Now, the Motor list price can be several months behind, but again, our customers are used to having old list prices. Now, that's just for basic, all right? In other words, if you sign up for Nexpart Basic, all you can do is mark up the list price plus or minus, and you do that from inside of our control panel, and that's for basic. If you're a pro user, you can supply us with an offline inventory file for pricing and stock. You could also use, of course, the plus or minus. Now, if you think about it, every single eBay seller is, of course, getting us an inventory feed, and those prices will be accurate. We do have plans, of course, to figure out how to get the list prices updated more frequently, but we're waiting for that. Okay, now one other thing about Nexpart Pro and Basic is if you do a part number search, a part number search will first search the catalog, and if it finds the part number, it's going to return the price from the catalog. Now, if the part number is not in the catalog, we will be able to go out over order link and get price and availability from the seller's DMS if they actually have that connection. So I guess you could call it's a hybrid, a hybrid connected, disconnected type of site, and that's going to work for Basic or Pro. All right, but the most important thing for you to understand is that pricing comes from the catalog itself, which is basically how Amazon and eBay work, right? Amazon and eBay rely on the sellers to provide pricing. And of course, the pricing is going to come from somebody's system. So hopefully that's clear. If you have any questions, you can, of course, email me. All right, so let's get a look at how this all looks. Now, here is the catalog start page. Notice it says catalog-4 in the URL. So we actually have 5 different catalogs. We've got OE, we've got aftermarket, OE accessories, we've got aftermarket, and we have what we call ACES aftermarket, which we'll talk about that later. Now, one thing you should notice immediately is right here, change department. So if this wasn't a screenshot and we clicked on change department, what you would see is the different catalogs you can choose. So it's similar to Nexpart B2B, where in the right-hand corner you have that catalog chooser. We're calling them departments. And the mechanical and collision catalog for OE are now mixed or combined, which is another really cool feature. The accessory catalog is still a separate catalog. Now, you notice here we show the garage, okay, so it always shows the last 5 vehicles. And if you choose department, you'll still see the same garage. And the way that we've made that possible is all these catalogs have been built based on the vehicles, the ACES vehicle database engine, meaning they all share the same vehicle ID. So all you need to do to change catalogs is change the department, and then if you want to reload the vehicle you were just looking at, you can. You'll see how it works when we go to the live demo. You can, of course, do the year, make, model lookup. You could do a part number search. You could do a VIN search. You could do a keyword search. Now, I mentioned on the first slide, you could actually put in the VIN in keyword search. You could put the part number in the keyword search. But the reason we put these here is simply to make the page look better, and most of our clients are looking for those fields to exist. All right, now if you look carefully down here, you notice there's an additional 6 links, or is it 5 links here? You can search by diagram, okay, which you will see in a minute when we go to the live demo. The diagram search basically is, instead of looking at text links for the category and the subcategory and the section and all that, you actually do it through the diagram. It's very cool, very touch friendly. Okay, you could do a vehicle search where you'll actually see the car make icon. Again, we'll get to it in a minute. And you can search by section, category, or subcategory. Now, what's different about these searches is you can actually do vehicle and then Ford, and then it'll actually just give you a list of all the Ford parts. And then you have the facets on the left side of the screen to drill down your search. You'll see it again in a second. Okay, so this is what the search result looks like, and I'm using the screenshots just because it'll be easier for me to talk about it. If you notice, this particular screenshot, we did a year, make, model lookup. So from that catalog start page, we did year, make, model. And it didn't ask us which category or subcategory. What it's showing you here is the actual groups, or I think it might be referred to as a section. And this is what we call the diagram search. So when I click on this diagram, it's going to show me all of the parts within that particular diagram, which is pretty cool. These are the facets we referred to over here on the left, and these numbers here are showing you how many part numbers live within that particular group or subgroup, etc. Okay? Now, if I did a categorical search, all right, when I click on the category, it's going to bring me to a page that looks like you see here, except in this area here, you would see a list of all the actual part numbers. Now, again, these are SEO-friendly pages, and they're designed so that the sites will get indexed better at Google, which will hopefully result in more parts sales, obviously. Now, I call this the money page. Now, if I go back to this page here, when I click on the actual diagram, it'll take you to this page. All right, and you can see here, here's all the part numbers on this particular page. If you roll over the little I here, you'll actually see the footnote, okay, which you can see here. I guess this is an example of rolling over it here, and it tells you with side airbag. I can click right here, and all these part numbers could be added to the cart in one shot. Or I could click here and uncheck the 2 or 3 parts that somebody wanted to buy. So the demos that we've done for dealers, they love this page because it's very similar to their Snap-on system. Okay, when you actually click on a diagram and you get to the, sorry. If you click on, where was it? Down here. If you click here, okay, it says that if you're unsure of the parts displayed above that fit your vehicle, click here. It'll bring you to a more detailed view, which looks like this. And this will actually show you the various years, makes, and models, or buyer's guide within the search result. The reason that we have this view is because the user may get to the site just by landing on a diagram page, and they may not have actually, from within Google. So it's a quick way to figure out, does this actually fit my car? All right, now a very, very cool feature that we have is, let's say you do a part number search in Google and it lands you within the seller's website. Well, you're going to see a message up here that warns the user that this part may not fit their car. So when that happens, you can click a button here. It'll ask you to do a year, make, model search. And based on the part type or category that we were in, it'll actually find the part for your specific car. Now, on this particular screen, you're seeing this message because when I created the screenshot, I'd already done a year, make, model search, so obviously all of the parts fit the car. You'll have to play with it, but you'll see this throughout the system. It'll say may or may not fit your car. It's depending on how you actually got to that search result page. We got the idea from Advance and AutoZone, who've been doing that for quite a while because they've had faceted search. Very cool stuff. Okay, so I guess here we go. Here's an example of, the user landed on, they did a part number search in Google, landed here on this page, and it's warning you, hey, it may not fit your car. So if you click here, it's going to force you to do the year, make, model lookup, and then it'll find the actual filter or oil filter. All right. Another cool feature we have is the visual garage. So on the demo site, I've obviously looked up these 5 different types of cars, and you can click on the garage at any time. And when you click on the garage, it'll actually show you the vehicles. Boom, boom. You just click on it, and it's going to load all the parts for your car. Very cool stuff. All right. So at this point, we're going to go do a live lookup. It lets us choose which demo we want to do. Now, currently, Basic and Pro are for the aftermarket and do not show the new faceted search. Okay, but if you click on SEO, SEM friendly right here, it's going to default to catalog 1. Again, if you want to see OE, you need to change the department to right here. Okay, or to genuine OE accessories. Okay, that's it.